Hello everybody, once again welcome to Artfully Plus. Today I will discuss about the biggest misconception which most of the management of the agriculture schools and also sometimes principals, vice principals, HODs have, even teachers sometimes, about the students actually. You see, all of these people sometimes they fail that students are fools actually, or at best they feel that if something we will do wrong or we will do something unethical, the best students can do is just be neutral and keep quiet and do not do any retaliation actually. So most of the time, even though this is true actually, students don't have capacity to retaliate, or very few institutes have atmosphere where students can register or protest or complain to anybody actually. And even if there are some methods to complain, there are very few institutes who really take good action in favor of students if they are right actually. So that is for one thing. But I found students generally, also particularly about architecture, that they are very intelligent people actually. You see, they may not be very intelligent to understand the nitty-gritty of architecture courses, but they understand very quickly where the institute is going and where the institute want to take them actually, and how much they can expect from the management, from the principal, from the HODs and other people to do certain things actually. They understand this very quickly and they quickly adapt to these things actually. And then at some point they make up their mind that now with a minimum friction we have to go out of this college. And that part is where I find them very intelligent. They find such fantastic ways of bypassing all those negatives of the institute, either from faculty or from management, and they actually try to get out safely actually. And regarding faculty also, you see, and also sometimes the principal, vice principal, I see active, sometimes collaboration also, whereby the students are failed or they are given marks deliberately low. If anybody acts against principal or against HOD or even against any faculty, any discord of voice or any indiscipline or whatever they feel is not correct as per them, and immediately there is some reaction on marks of the students and they are punished by a method of dialect. So this also drives a lot of fear in the mind of students actually. And this part I also felt as myself as student. When I was in March in one of the colleges in somewhere in India, I don't want to name it actually. There I also felt the same thing actually. So my experience I will discuss some other time. I'm not in mood to elaborate my experience, but as a professor, whatever I have encountered with students, I will try to relate some of the events which were very endearing to me actually. And also I want to demonstrate to some of you who are new to YouTube, my channel Artfully Plus, how teacher-student relation can be actually and what it should be actually. So first thing first, you see, I move around almost every institute with two aims. Either that institute is giving me some chance to grow myself, they are stimulating me in some manner. So there were 2 or 3 institutes where I worked, and they were actually helping me to grow actually. And actually every institute they taught me something to improve myself. Either knowingly or unknowingly, something happened in the institute, and I got some lesson over there. So I started, improving myself like that. That was always happening. But otherwise, if I am there and I'm not able to grow myself by any method, it's not very stimulating, then I actually am there so that students they benefit by my being there, to be in my contact. And then if I find that that institute doesn't have any teamwork, or it doesn't have proper pedagogy, the principals and vice principals are not paying attention to anything, the management is least bothered about anything, then I will actually try to make it one-man army kind of a holistic approach. How to make sure that the minimal contact with students, means whatever time I'm there in those institutes, how I can take them to some new level, where I can reassure them emotionally and otherwise, and they should feel good about themselves, that they have some scope, some areas where they will have some competence, and where they will feel that they are doing something good actually. So those were my focus areas actually. So first thing what students notice is the sincerity of purpose, the honesty, and that is very transparent actually. You see, initially students are always skeptical about every faculty, and they are trying to watch you and put you that where you fall actually. Whether you'll be partial, or you'll be vindictive, or you'll be, maybe not a good teacher at all, and so many other boxes they have in their mind actually. So initially they are skeptical, but when you show the sincerity of purpose and hard work, and you mean their well-being actually, they can see through that actually. And sometimes actually I was actually amazed actually, because I found that in most of the institutes, students recognize me better and faster than the management. Like I found many institute management are at loss, like they don't understand who am I and what I'm doing and what are my focus areas and what is great about my pedagogy, or what is great about my other things about teaching. They were like trying to put their finger on where exactly I stand. But students could get hold of everything about me, maximum maybe say within a month actually. Month is the maximum I think. Sometimes it will be even before that actually. So I will try to build rapport with them. I will try to make them feel good about everything being with me, and something like that. I will always be positive about everything. And also as and when I know the bad things about their institute actually, whatever about bad things I know, so I will actually, with that information, I will start talking to them that these are the things which are lacking in your institute, and we will compensate this by this method actually. And that I will do actually. So students were very fast, very sharp, and many places I would be also very harsh on them when it comes to discipline. Sometimes I'm actually raise my voice, and sometimes I'm actually almost yelling actually. But I was surprised actually that students could get hold of that, and they were feeling that this is a facade actually. Inside this man, the inner core is very soft, and it's a very very human actually. His values are different actually. So that part touched me almost everywhere. I can vouch in almost 30 institutes where I went actually. So bearing one few students actually, some 10 or 15 maximum. I wouldn't name more than that actually. And those 10 students also, I will explain to you some other time what they were actually up to. So those students had different story actually. So apart from that, I had very fantastic experience with 10,000 students across 30 institutes, across 15 cities, across 9 states of India. So let's start. What was the best thing that could happen between me and students when the rapport was good actually? So this is actually after some point students become so comfortable with me actually that when I try to discipline them or do something, they are so comfortable actually. This I'm talking about particularly the students of you know uh, let's name the state now, the Gujarat students, because I'm also from Gujarat. So these students they will become very comfortable with me actually. Very very comfortable. So I'll give you example of one college without naming that college. Actually, I was there with third year AD actually, and I had my co-teacher, one lady HOD actually. She was also co-teacher with me. So we had something like 34 students, and we were two of us actually. And that college was actually shortfall of teachers. And then she will interact with some students, I will interact with students, but actually it was not very fixed actually. So we were free to interact with anybody actually. So most of the time she'll be busy with the administrative work, so I'll be interacting with them, the students. Now I had a problem. If I'm alone and I have to talk to all 34 students, then I have to be on time in college, start early, and also during lunch time I would skip my lunch, and then some of the students, they will offer me their sandwich or something, so please have something. So I will do with that. Of course, I always had my tea flasks with me all the time. And after that, they had to leave from the college. I think I don't remember the exact time, maybe 4 o'clock or something. And they were coming from another town of Gujarat. So they will leave. And then there will be balance students who will be in hostel, mostly girls. I will interact with them after 4 o'clock till almost 5:30, 6 o'clock. So this was my routine every time. And there were 2 days a week for design. I don't remember 2 or 3 days. Let's assume 2 days. So this was my routine actually. And I would finish almost all 34 students by the end of the day, interacting with them. Now these students, they become so comfortable with me actually, that I'm taking their jury, say something like pre-final jury actually, and they're giving jury, and I'm having some biscuit, along with tea or something. And they also, so we had open jury, so even there were some junior students actually watching, second year students and some first year students and all that. And these students are giving jury, and then they're talking something. Now I'm eating biscuit or tea, and then when they say something and I don't react, but these students were so comfortable. They will point out to their fellow students, third year students. Hey, take that biscuit away from sir. Take that tea away from sir. He's not paying attention. He's not focus on our jury. Take that biscuit away. And actually they will do. They will take away biscuit from my hand, and they will take away tea from my hand, and they will say focus here actually. And these second year students and these first year students were like, oh gosh, like what the hell is happening here actually? How come these students can order actually and they can do all this? And I was say, okay, I should focus. Yes, I should actually listen carefully and give my reaction actually. So this is I give me example, the level of rapport and the comfort actually between me and the students actually. And same students, you see, I will give some example actually. You see, at those times there were some anonymous Facebook groups actually. They will make some Facebook page of the college, and they will write anonymously some comments of the teacher actually. So this one of the this another faculty, he was little bit. He was thinking that he little was smart actually. So when I went in the very beginning, the very first lecture I gave there for AD starting, I gave some time problem, for 15 days problem. So I was telling students that you have to work hard and you have to make models and you have to make drawings and you have to make this and you have to make that. And then this one Facebook page of the institute, anonymous, some students may comment, this professor is talking too much, he doesn't know how we'll make a model for 15 days time problem and all that they were writing. And this faculty thought he is very smart, so he gave me printed of this comment and told me, so see, this is what they talk about you actually. So I told him I'm not bothered actually. See, the students will criticize me, they will love me, both of that is of no use to me actually. Because this keep changing. They keep changing very quickly and very fast actually. So I'm not worried. Please don't show me this kind of information. I'm not worried about this kind of thing actually. And then by end of 15 days, the students produce all the models, they produce all the drawings, they completed everything on time. And it was there actually. And when we invited jury from another college, away from another city from Gujarat, he was a principal of another college. When he saw those models and drawings and all that, he said, well, this is the work of 4 months. I said, no, sir, this is the work of 15 days actually. He was like surprised what I have this actually. How can students produce so many drawings, so many models and fantastic design in 15 days actually? It was not a small project, it was like a shopping mall actually. And this was third year students actually. And then I was not surprised actually, because somehow I charged them, motivated them to do their best actually. But the same students then they become so fantastic, they were like, and they were in love with me, like what kind of teacher we have over here. And so those comments which they were giving anonymously, they changed their mind, of course. It's no more valid actually. They did work hard, they produced all the models, they produced all the drawings, and they present their things actually in a fantastic manner actually. So sometimes I feel that if things are positive and you have confidence in students and you have confidence in yourself, and I don't think this over discipline or this is required actually. So this is about one institute actually, and then some other institute somewhere else actually. I will again name the state over here actually. Doesn't matter. So when I was in one college in Kerala actually, also you see this all the management and the teachers were really like, they were trying to understand who am I and what I am there actually for actually. Of course I was there as a director actually, principal actually. So this actually told me that sir, first 3 year students will forget, no one will bother to make you friend, and you can't win their what you call goodwill or whatever you call, or you can't be in their good books. You have to now focus on the new first year students, and then only you can build something actually. So I told this actually that I am not bothered about this goodwill, and I am not bothered about the affection. Right? I am here to do my job, and I will do what I have to do. And we will see after 2 months what is happening actually. And it was like that. You see, I know initially the students were, I don't know, they were like, because they have some cultural differences. I am from North India, and they are from Kerala actually. So even I also had some apprehensions actually, because this was first time I was doing this assignment in Kerala actually. So I was also not sure how students will take me actually. But then, after a month, students came to know who I am actually, and they saw my hard work, they saw my focus, they saw my, dedication, and my feelings for them. I've been good for them. I want them to grow, and I want them to study well, and all that. And I was able to do, and it's all, it's very visible actually, very fast to catch all that actually. So even there, I was like, disciplining, sometimes raising my voice, sometimes, and I'm always, I have some method, I always say bad things to students, you are a useless people, or good for nothing people, and all like that I keep telling actually. And some of the principals and vice principals, they have different opinion. They don't do all that. They never do all this actually. They have different this. So I don't say they are wrong actually, but I actually also keep changing my strategy every institute actually. So sometimes I will go on criticizing them. Sometimes I will take a different strategy. If I go to some institute and I see something happening very good in the very beginning actually, then I will start praising them all the time actually. So I will adopt different strategies actually. So nothing fixed actually. I will customize my strategy as per the requirement of the institute actually. So even this particular institute where I was director, the students, they saw through all my bluff of facade of very critical and very harsh and disciplined, and they found that no, this man is different. He has soft core. He's a very gentle person inside, and and then suddenly I said something. One girl, she came very near to me, and she told me that, sir, you are very kind. You are a very nice person. We love you. And I was like, oh God, what, from where this came actually? Because I felt I had just criticized all the students. There was some jury actually, and students they were giving jury, and we had external juror, and I was criticizing students. Why the external juror should actually go meticulous through your drawing, meticulous through your models, and comment. If you are useless and worthless people, you put up nothing worth looking at, and all that. I was blah blah blah. And this girl told me, sir, you are very kind and very nice and we love you. And I don't know actually, was it like some kind of gimmick? But I think it was not gimmick, because these people, they were really loving me actually. But they could see through all this actually. You see, they felt that he has right to criticize us, he has right to scold us. Like it's something like it becomes so endearing. It becomes something like same like parent-child kind of, a parent will scold a child, and a child will feel, they are right because they are taking care of me and they're providing me and they're giving me education and they're giving me birth and whatnot. They think, and they say, okay, let them do what they want to do. Something, I wouldn't say similar, but at least 2 or 3 notch down on that. It will become between me and students actually. So these students also, some of them, they told me actually that, sir, after you came, our college started looking like a college actually. It was not looking like college before. And then when I left from that institute after some point actually, after whatever time I could be with them, they again told me, sir, now it is no more like a college and we are back to square actually. And actually, later on I was meeting them very often, sometimes I meet them. So when I meet them after say a year or 1.5 years, when again I had chance to meet them, they told, sir, we are now not recommending our institute to anybody actually, after you left actually. And we will never recommend our brother, sister, cousins or friends to this institute now. It is no more the same like when it was what it was when you were here actually. So you see, sometimes the management is there, the institute is there, the teachers are there, the infrastructure is there, everything is there. But I was there and I was not there. It was making so much difference to students actually. So that when you work honestly, work hard, students can never miss it actually. Never, never. I never. You see, students are so clever, so intelligent, so sharp. They can understand everything very clearly. It's very transparent with them. Actually, they read our body language. They read our modulation of voice. They read our pitch, high pitch, low pitch, and they read everything. Actually. And also they look very sharp eyes that what are you doing for them, in background. So they understand that you are talking to so many teachers, so many people. Sometimes, they can see that, that there are some heated discussion between me and faculty or something is happening somewhere. And they feel all this is happening just to help them actually. So they will never miss anything actually. So anyway, but because this I really feel very bad for these students from Kerala because I was from North India. They always kept that respect, like the Gujarat students, they become so comfortable, take away biscuit, take away tea, not pay attention, is not focused. They couldn't do that actually. And actually, I also simply can't tell them as a director that you can do so many things with me actually. You can do all this because it is not like that. You can't just do that actually. You have to, but they felt comfortable. They felt very good to come to my office. They felt very easy. Whatever they had to tell me, very frankly, they will tell me. And they will always use this phrase, sir, you will understand our problem, you will understand our problem, you will understand us. And after 2-3 times, he started ringing me that, that he wanted me to understand something in particular way actually. So then he mostly, like if he's looking for TC, to go to another college somewhere, and I am trying to convince him, why don't you stay in your college? And my arguments are very, very convincing to him, but still he will say, sir, you understand me, sir, you will give me TC, sir, you will recommend my name to management. Then I would say, okay, take it, go. So you see, being with students, and I would say, I went to all these 30 colleges. I had sometimes very bad experience, but never with students. Always it was from the management, from the faculty, from principal, vice principal, and so many other things, but never from students. And students, I tell you, only sometimes students somewhere in some part of India. That institute is really distinct, so I'll discuss separately actually, because it will take more time actually. So I had fantastic rapport with students actually. They loved me, I loved them, and all institute actually, they were fantastic. I can't name actually any particular great this thing. But I also want to give another example, some institute again in Gujarat actually. I was teaching urban design seminar to final year students actually. So of course I had some co-teacher, the principal of the institute actually. And this guy, whenever the students will give jury, even when they start with the first word, second word, you start criticizing and you interrupt them and not listen to them. And I was actually sitting in and waiting, why this guy is interrupting so fast and so early. And then to give good examples about pedagogy, he will go and bring atlas map and say, see how this political map is shown with different colors of this. I mean, that was the standard actually. I was like, what is this actually? How can you show a political map of an atlas as a presentation to final year students actually? So at some point actually, I talked to him. I told him, sir, you are being with me in class about this urban design seminar, not helping students, not helping me. And I spoke something. Maybe at some point he felt little harsh about it actually. Because I felt it was really a waste of time actually, because this happened at least 2 or 3 classes actually. And then he actually went to student actually, and he called them actually in the office. I was sitting in his cabin actually when I was talking. And then he is telling students, so you have any complaints against Professor Atul Kedi actually? No, actually, the students kept quiet actually. And then he said, okay, that's it. Now you take the subject alone. I'm not going to be part of your subject. I don't mind. You continue. And when I went to class actually, these students told me that when this principal came to our office, he actually told us that you please make complaint against Professor Atul Kedia, then I will actually throw him out of the college. He coached them actually. He prompted them to make complaints actually. But the students, they see in this whatever 2 or 3 class students see through actually. They could see through that I am actually trying to help them and trying to be sympathetic to them. I want to hear them out actually. And I wouldn't comment. Sometimes I will wait for some considerable time. So I will wait for students. I will wait for considerable time for students to finish something, and then I will make my very comments. And whenever I make comment, I will make sure that I will talk about good things about what they have actually. And when after finishing that, I will talk about something what they have some negatives in a very soft manner. If these things are corrected and put up like that, this will become fantastic. It will go to another level actually. So that always helped actually. Students wanted some positive reinforcements and then some negative comment. They can take like a balanced thing. They will take it better actually. So I was always psychologically a little bit smooth with students actually. And then at one point I told students, okay, I was like doing some readings, upon design seminar, do readings actually. So students had to take some architects, something, and discuss the passage. They have to read out and expand it actually. So this is a very standard practice in Harvard University and all this SAP and other good colleges. So I was adopting that. So in those times actually, I found that a brilliant student, maybe 2 or 3, they did very well in that. Now other students were getting bored actually. So then I found out from their body language that this readings is not going very well. So I said, okay, let's arrange one site visit study tour actually to the city, and let's do urban design seminar. So studying the actual some portions of city. So I took them to the city and they went and they sketched and all that. And when I asked them, I made some groups and make presentation. It went fantastic. They were very happy actually. And then I also introduced, watching a film actually. And then from that, whatever the urban spaces are there, describe them and all that, and expand those ideas actually. So that also I introduced, and it was going very nice actually. So again, what happened? All these students who were not interested initially, after introducing my study tour and watching movies, this kind of ideas, they become very friendly and they started producing good work, and they found that they actually found rapport with me actually. And suddenly these 2-3 clever students, they started feeling aloof. So what the hell now? Before I was praising them actually, that these students are hardworking, they're very students, see how they are doing. I was giving the example, see how they are doing readings and all that. Now later on with the study tour and the movies, the students also picked up and they were also doing fantastic thing actually. So these students, they felt a little slighted actually. They felt a little, they took a little, what do you call that, phase, where you can know that they are not happy actually. But it was nothing from my side actually. This is something, I couldn't do anything about it. So this is also a good example, how different pedagogy, different style to make students take interest in subject and produce little more actually. So sometimes we have to try different strategies, adopt, change quickly in the same college, same school, within the same subject, and see how results are changing actually. So that is also one part. Then in the same institute actually, I found that there were some students who were coming from rural areas and they were coming from cities, middle cities or big cities actually. And then these students who come from cities, boys and girls, they have a particular way of talking and discussing, and their body language, and they're well dressed, and they're very smooth actually. So there were some 2-3 girls. They were actually and very smooth with the principal. Now this is the same issue, which I was talking about actually. This final year students urban design seminar. So these girls were very smooth. Now this principal, just imagine, he arranged these girls to act as spy in the class. Like any student criticizes principal or something, they have to go and tell him actually. So these things were happening actually, and then these students will be suddenly fail in the test of that principal, and all this will happen. Now can you imagine this now? Can you imagine? You see, this first of all, let me tell you this rural students' background. It was some kind of a government college, so the fees there were only 15,000 actually per year actually. And you want to pay this 15,000 rupees. Some of the students will take students' bank loan actually. That was the background of students from rural areas actually. So when I saw this, hegemony of these urban students, the smart girls, and conniving with principals, and punishing other simple rural students, I felt very bad actually. And then at that time I was forced to take sides, and I did something there, and I don't want to go in details of that, but I'm giving example that how sometimes the urban students with the smooth talk, they influence teachers, influence principals, and they actually get favor from these people. But this doesn't cut eyes with me. For me, nothing will work. No technique, no trick will work under the sun by which I will become partial to any student or I have bias towards anybody. It is very, very clear for me actually. Nothing works. Or even being girl and boy makes no difference to me actually. And sometimes I have felt that some girls who feel they are beautiful and they are looking whatever, and students and other people are paying attention, teachers are paying attention. They also start assuming some error about themselves, and they also try to do all those kind of smooth things actually. But even those tricks never work with me. It never cut eyes with me actually. In fact, one or two places, I wouldn't want to name those institutions actually. But this, like I had ways to put everybody in their place in a very nice and polite way actually. So many experiences I gave actually. And now actually I want to discuss something else actually. So but the pedagogy part is starting now actually. So I was going through this internet, that what are the students they face, like I put a question actually, that what the student of architecture suffer in colleges actually. So this question I put, and then I saw one response in Quora. You see the Quora actually. So there is one guy called Derek Stevens actually. So he's an architect in training, master's degree in architecture, and so upvoted by Victor Dow, master's architecture, University of Technology, Sydney. This is a response of 2017 actually. So what is writing that what are your biggest regrets as an architecture student actually. So first I will read it actually, and then somewhere I will give my own comments actually, what I feel about that actually. So he's saying that in my final year of graduate school for my Masters of Architecture, this question resonates with me. I sometimes ask myself, knowing what I know, would I still go into architecture school? For me, the answer is yes. Okay, so he's saying that would I go to architecture again? He said yes, I'll go. But I would have approached it very differently. I bought into some my myths. I bought into some myths that my school taught me. I'm trying to unlearn these myths because I believe they are destructive. These realities are what I would tell my younger self. So what he's trying to say that he some myths actually which were actually came to the institute actually. So these are actually destructive in nature, and he actually the new reality is what he understood actually. He would tell to his younger self, and then he will go to architecture school. So this I feel the students of architecture should pay attention to actually, and this is interesting actually. Okay, so myth 1, your studio project is the product. Okay, so many professors take the approach that the final studio project is the be all and all of who you are and what kind of designer you will be. Your project is the product. So this is saying this is a myth, and now what reality he felt he is telling now actually. So reality is what he's saying, you are the product. The studio project is just a way to sharpen your skills, form your mind, and enhance who you are. Do not sacrifice yourself for the project. This is counterproductive because the aim of the project is to teach you about architecture and yourself. So this, I'm now adding my own comment. So he is telling that the project's aim is to teach you about architecture and about yourself. Means you have to discover yourself actually, know yourself actually. You understand? So don't focus on the end project. That is not like a product actually. You are the product actually. So focus on learning and discovering yourself actually. That is what he's trying to say. So this is what I'm my comment actually. By all means, change yourself, but realize that your self-worth is far more important than what grade you get or how sexy. These are his words, not my word. How sexy your final drawings models are. So what he's saying that maintain your self-worth. This is my comment. And don't worry too much about the grade you got, and don't equate that. So keep your self-worth above everything else. The goal of college is to make yourself a better person. I know many of my peers who can out-design, out-build and out-think me. They tend to be unhappy though, which is very hard to see actually. So you see, this is my comment. You see, he found many people in his class who were very good in design, very good in building something, or they were good in thinking actually. But they were very unhappy actually. So this he found very hard actually. So you see, what he's trying to say, don't make yourself unhappy in the process actually. You have to enjoy the process. You have to be happy all the way till you pass out actually. Take Frank Lloyd Wright, for example. He was a revolutionary designer, yet a terrible father, husband and boss. Now this part I was not aware before. I'm reading first time. I never went into the personal life of Frank Lloyd Wright actually. Louis Kahn, also a revolutionary architect, had multiple families whose some members didn't meet each other until his funeral. Watch My Architect to get the full picture. So this again is talking about Louis Kahn actually. But Louis Kahn actually, I was aware, Louis Kahn died out of heart attack actually. So he had some also, I think, financial burden, debt also actually. I understand his end years were not very good, and he had some financial problems and all that, and he died of heart attack. This I know actually. Another thing also, he had problems with his family. It is also I was aware actually, but not of Frank Lloyd Wright actually. Okay, so now I'm again reading the student's quote. To say this differently, when I was hired on to an architecture firm, the principal of the firm flipped through the 5 years of my work in less than a minute. He was more interested in who I am as a person than what projects I had done in school. I don't think he even liked my work that much, but he liked me. That's why I got the job. So this is what he is talking about. So I have nothing to add about this part, but this also I feel about this. I want to tell you this architect He wanted to hire a good person actually. This, that means he is giving importance to character actually. This I feel sometimes good actually. Because sometimes I feel, some people are really mean actually. And they actually spoil the atmosphere of the office actually. This happens actually. So I also agree with this employer. And I also try to focus on students, please have some good value system actually. Be a good human being actually. Be a good, when you are in your core, you are a good human beings, automatically designs and ideas comes to you actually, easily sometimes actually. Because then you have a lot of empathy for everybody. You will have empathy for your client actually. You will have empathy for the people in that place actually. You will have empathy for the country where you are designing that building actually. So this is very important sometimes. You have to be a good human being in the core actually. So there you are. Now I am reading second myth 2. Your professor of a studio is your client. This sounds like decent advice and it is wrong. You have to live with your design project for a much longer time than your professor does actually. So this is the myth. Now reality is you are your own client for your class projects. So he's saying that you become your own client for your class projects actually. So your professor is like a mentor or consultant and can be tremendously helpful, but you should not design for them actually. So you shouldn't work think that. So sometimes I think sometimes even I also actually I was part of this meet also. I also give I love by that teachers are your clients actually. So you have to satisfy them actually. But this guy is saying, you see, when I'm learning something new here, that doesn't matter. Learn while you're teaching. Yeah, art school process is a good place to learn actually, and accept your mistakes actually. So I am the first to do that actually. So what he's saying, that you are your own client for your own class projects. Your professor is like a mentor or consultant. Actually, this mentor consultant, I was always like that. I was mentoring students. I was always consultant for them actually. Even sometimes I will give data to them actually. I say, don't work hard on data. I got a lot of data ready. Take it from me. Just focus on design actually. So this was my approach, and some of my co-teachers would say you are making them lazy and all that. I said, no, it's not question of lazy. I don't want them to become donkey, like doing donkey work. They will search data and all that, but I have something. Of course, they can still search, but whatever I have, I gave them. So don't focus on this data. Focus on something else actually. Nothing wrong in that, I would say. Because I was acting like a consultant for them. I was making them feel like designers, like a VIP people actually. So that was my approach actually. So, and can be tremendously helpful, but you should not design for them. Them means professors. So most students I see play up to what the professor wants and end up hitting their projects in the end. This is correct. This is the same thing, I gave in one last video, I gave example of that lady, very basic design teacher who will only comment good or bad. So students, they psychologically decoded this lady teacher, and within 3 weeks they could understand what she will tell something is good and what she will tell something is bad, and they started producing all things as per that, and they all started becoming good all the way till end of semester actually. So this is what he's trying to say, that sometimes when you do this, you may not like that product actually yourself, so you will hate your design. So this is what he's telling. That was also I was telling the same thing. I was actually criticized that teacher, you have made mistake actually. This is not the correct pedagogy actually. So this exactly this boy is actually pointing out. He's supporting what I'm saying actually. You see, some people they rhyme with me. Yeah, so I'm not so bad teacher after all. So most students I see play up to what the professor wants and end up hating their project in the end because it is not theirs. That shows through the work. Now Jimi Hendrix played the guitar so well, not because he wanted to please other people, but because he was moved through his music for himself. Now guys, I don't know who is this Jimi Hendrix. So after I finish this video and publish it, I will myself go and listen to his music. But you can actually have a look at his video, and maybe if I may also put a link to his videos after I discover them, and while editing I'll put a link actually. So what he's trying to say, Jimi Hendrix played the guitar so well, not because he wanted to please other people, but because he was moved through his music for himself actually. But at least you have to involve yourself to make design which moves you actually first. Don't have any other people and do everything for them. So this is something I would tend to agree also actually. But I have this other view, I talk sometimes whether the design architecture is a democratic process or egalitarian process. So this idea, I don't mind as long as it moves, but you shouldn't make an ego issue actually. So suppose you just make an ego issue, and suppose there is a different view from the client, and they want something differently, then making it ego is not a good idea. So sometimes I feel it should be egalitarian or democratic process, where you should also take feedback from the client and try to see if you can accommodate them actually. So a small comment there actually. People came to see a man playing his heart out for him. That's where the magic is actually. So this is his comment. Then mid 3, and I will hurry up now. You must sacrifice yourself for your craft. You must dedicate everything you have for your studio project. This relates to mid 1 actually. So this is a mid 3. Now reality. Good design comes from a happy person who has integrity, and this drives his her project instead of the project driving him/her. Who is really in control? You are. Although sacrifices will need to be made for architecture, now this is in bracket, because of how challenging it is, bracket close, there is a difference between sacrificing yourself and choosing what you can let go actually. So actually I would to decipher this for you and simplify it for you. Let me stand to tell you something. See, what he's saying that you should be a happy person. That is what he's saying. Like don't sacrifice yourself for the craft. So you have to be happy person, and you need to make sacrifice because the challenging, but sacrificing and choosing what you can let go means something you have to let go something. So actually he's trying to say that don't kill yourself, don't overdo yourself. This part actually I don't know which part he's talking. He's talking about the physical hard work part or mentally torturing yourself part, or which part. I think he's talking about mentally torturing yourself actually. So don't do that, but other things you can do, whatever hard work you require to make a drawings and models, other things, do sincerely and see how it works out actually. So now mid 4, design out of the box. I see many classmates try to make things different for the sake of being different. This doesn't work. So what is the reality? The box doesn't exist. Sometimes the best solution is one that has been used before and simply fits into what you set out to achieve. Be different when different is better, not when different is cooler. Luke Evans said something along the lines of this: it is easy to be different, but hard to be better. So there you are. So I would tell my younger self all this. I hope this helps. I would absolutely do it all over again, but I would follow my older self's advice. So whatever advice he's giving, you will follow now when you will do it again. Finally, don't let school get in the way of your education. Don't sacrifice learning for good grades. There you are actually. Marks are not so important. I really tell sometimes, these grades are not important. Don't worry too much about that. Good grades come from good learning and application. Take more risks. Make crazy stuff. You will have plenty of time to do realistic architecture. School is a time to stretch your mind and test your own boundaries. So there it ends actually. So video is almost become of 55 minutes. Actually I already gave some examples for other colleges in this video itself. So the other part B I will skip today for this video. So in summary, I would say that I had very good rapport with all students, 10,000 students, and they also felt good about me. And I give examples where, and also one more example, I'll make first students very comfortable, and they'll be very comfortable with me, because I felt that discipline will go proportional. I will discipline less to the first student, a little more harsher to second student, then little more harsher third year student, more harsher to fourth year, and most harsher to fifth year student. So this was my way of dealing with students. Actually, I felt that first student deserve a little more leniency, and like that, let it will go. But sometimes if co-teachers and other teachers, they complain too much against any year student, then if I have to do some discipline, and then I will do. But I have to make those sure that this information is accurate and other things are correct, and then I will do something here and there. Otherwise, my dealing with first student will be very like a kid glow and very nice, and they'll be very happy with me. So enough for today. It's almost 1 hour. So thank you for watching my Art Clip Plus. Again, requesting you to please like, subscribe, and comment on my videos. Give me suggestions and questions if you have any, and recommend my channel to your friends in other schools and your junior or senior teachers. So thank you for watching, and thank you for liking. I'm getting some good comments also for my videos. Some people, they're saying nice video, good stuff, this that. I'm seeing some comments coming up, so I'm encouraged by those comments. So thank you for now. Bye bye from Art Clip Plus, Atul Kedia. Bye. And as I told you before, please subscribe my channel Art Clip Plus. Please like this video, and please make comment if you feel something I have missed or something you think you can add on this, and forward my videos to your friends and other people.